Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I am back with another full stack React application in which we are going to implement all the current feature with the help of React, Node, Express and MySQL. And I have created this video because I got a lot of comment from my viewers and subscribers to make a video on MySQL with the Node and React. So I have created this video for you guys only. So let's see what we are going to build in this application. So you can see that we have 3 data in our table component. So this is the same data that I have in my MySQL database. So let's go into the MySQL workbench. So you can see that we have a data like John Doe, James Bond and Rahul Kumar. So this is the same data that I am displaying here in table component. Okay. So let's add one contact here in order to perform the add operation. So let's give like name Raj Singh, email will be raj@gmail.com, contact, and let's click on save. So you can see that contact got added in our table component, and we have got this toast notification that's saying that contact added successfully. So now let's perform the delete operation. So let's click this third record. So I've got this window pop-up confirm dialog box, and if you click OK, the record will get deleted from our table component, and we have got this toast message that's saying that contact deleted successfully. So now let's perform the update operation. So let's update the existing record. So I'm going to update the third one. So let's update the email Raj Singh, and let's click on update. So you can see the button value got updated from save to update. So let's click on update. Now you can see that email got updated in our table component, and we have got this toast notification that's saying that contact updated successfully. So you can see that we are successfully able to update the existing contact as well, and you can also verify in the MySQL workbench as well. So you need to execute this query. So you can see that we have got this email, the Raj Singh, which is got updated in our MySQL database, and we have one view component. So if you click on view, so you can see the single user contact detail with ID, name, email and contact. So this is the overall application which we are going to build in this video with the help of React, Node, Express and MySQL, and I hope you will enjoy this video. So before we start writing any code, if you haven't subscribed this channel, then please subscribe this channel, and if you find out that this video is useful, then you can also share with your friend and colleague. And guys, you can also follow me on social media like Facebook and Instagram. So all the social media link will be available in the description. You can always check out the description for the social media link. So let's start building this application. So we have to go to the Visual Studio Code. So guys, I am in my Visual Studio Code, and you can see that I have one empty server folder. So first I will create a package.json file in order to install the dependency. So I will open a terminal here inside my Visual Studio Code, and I will go back and I will go to this server folder. So cd server, and I will do a npm init. So basically it will create a package.json file. So you can just do a enter. Okay. So now you can see that we have got this package.json file. Now we need to install some dependency. So let's install the dependency. So I need to install like body parser to basically parse the incoming request. So we need body parser, then course, Express obviously we need because we are going to use Express framework here. We need here MySQL 2. So guys, you need to be very careful while installing the MySQL. So because MySQL version is 8.0, so that's why I am installing MySQL 2. And if you have a lower version, you just have to install the MySQL only. Okay, So I have a 8.0 version, so that's why I am installing MySQL 2. You might get issue if you have a lower version, if you have installed this one MySQL 2. So mine is 8.0, so that's why I am installing MySQL 2. Now we also need a nodemon here, so let's install all this dependency, and I'll be back once all the dependency get installed. So guys, our all dependency got installed. You can see that in our package.json file. So now let's create one file here. So the file name will be index.js, and let's bring the express. So require and express. Then we need to initialize our app. So const app is equal to express, and then we also need body parser here. Require body parser. We are also going to use a course here, so let's bring the course. So course basically used to access our backend API in our React frontend side, so that's why we need to use course here. Now we can use here like app.use course, and we can use here, so these are all the middleware actually. So we can use here express.json, and we have to use the other middleware like body parser. So body parser dot URL encoded and extended true. So this thing basically you have to do if you are working with any client side application. So we have done this basic configuration. Now let's define our port here. So app.listen. So this server is going to be listen on the port 5000, and we can just do a console log like server is running on port 5000. Okay, and we also need to do some changes in our package.json file, because we need to write one script in order to start the server. So server, and here we can use nodemon. So nodemon we are using because if you made any changes in the file, then you don't have to kill the server every time, so it will automatically restart the server after you made changes in any file. So it's very helpful. And here actually we need to bring the course actually, otherwise we will get an issue. So let's bring the course. I hope we have in our package.json file. So let's run the server here. So npm run server. So now you can see that we have got our console log like server is running on port 5000, and we can also verify this one in browser. So let's go into the browser first. So now you can see that it's saying that cannot get here. So by default express server run on the home route. Okay, so that is /. Okay, so that route actually is not defined, that's why we are getting this message like cannot get. So we have to define this route actually, because by default is basically load the home route, that is /. So let's define this route. So what we can do here, app dot get, and we can define this route. Request response, then we are gonna have a, so we can just send a response like hello world. So response dot send hello express. Okay, hello express and we can save this file, and you will notice that our server got restarted after saving the file. So let's go into the browser and refresh this one. So now you can see that we have got this message, hello express. So our express is running now. So now we need to create a database in our MySQL. So I hope you have already set up the MySQL. So I am using MySQL Workbench to create a database in MySQL. So as you can see that I have opened MySQL database. So what I will do, I will create a schema here, and I will give like CRUD contact, and I will click on apply. So it will create a schema, and let's click on apply. Let's click on finish. So you can see that it's created here. So now we have to create a table. So I'll just expand this one, and I will do a right click here, and I will create a table. So this will be like contact db, okay, and the first column it will be having a id. So let's give id here. We need to pick this one for id, okay, this one also, because it will be unique, and this should not have a null. And we also need to check this one because it will get auto increment whenever you add a new contact. So we need to check this one for id. Now the second column will be like name, so it will be varchar only, and but we need to increase the size here. So we can give here like 100, and we also make to sure that it should not be null, okay. The next column will be like email, and this will be also a varchar only, and let's give 100 only, and let's take this one. And for contact also we have to use varchar only, so leave it only 45, and let's click on this one, not null. So all fields should have a value, so it should not be empty. So that's why I'm checking this one for all column, and let's click on apply. So you can see that we have got this SQL statement here, and now let's click on apply. So our table got created here, and you can basically verify whether your table got created or not. So what you can do, so you can just do a right click, so you can do just right click here and just click on select row. So you can see that we have got our db, and we have got this id, name, email, and contact, and obviously at the moment we don't have any data, so we have a null in the first row because we don't have any data. So the next thing, we are going to establish the MySQL connection with our server, okay. So let's do that one. So in order to establish a connection with the MySQL in our backend, so we need to bring the MySQL. So const MySQL is equal to require, and we have to bring from MySQL 2 because I have installed this one because my version is 8.0. So if you have lower version, then just install only MySQL because you might get an issue. So now what we have to do, we have to establish the connection here. So MySQL dot create pull, and here we have to specify host. So host, we are going to give localhost user, so it will be root only, and I'm going to give the password. So my password is like Mark1234 database. So database we can give here like CRUD contact. So this is the same database we have to give, which we have in our MySQL workbench. So we have this one, CRUD contact. So yep, it's correct only. Now, in order to verify whether this connection is working or not, so we can send one data from this route. So let's do that one. So we can use like const SQL insert something. We can do like const SQL insert, and we can write a MySQL query here. So insert into, and we have to give here table name. So table we have here like contact DB. Okay, so insert into contact DB, and we have the column name, email, and contact, and values, and we can specify here value like John at the rate Gmail. So we have to specify email account here. So John at the rate gmail.com, and let's specify the contact. So let's give some random value, and after this we have to write like db dot query. We can pass this SQL insert, and we can have one callback which will having error and result. So we can log both thing, console.log. Okay, we can do like error or error, and for result let's log result. So result, and we can also put inside this one. So let's save this file, and let's go into the browser and just refresh this one. So we have some issue, I think. Okay, so let's go into the MySQL workbench first, whether our data is getting inserted or not. So let's go into the MySQL, and let's click on this one. So let's click on this. So you can see that we have got our record that we have inserted through this way. So we have john at the rate gmail.com. Okay, so you cannot send this way, I think. So the issue like this will be the error. So let's do that here, error, and let's change the name here. So John Doe, let's give here John Doe, and let's change the contact. Okay, let's save this file. Let's go into the browser. Okay, so now this time it's working, and let's go to the MySQL workbench whether that contact is added or not. So let's click on this to execute this statement. So John Doe is also getting added in our MySQL database. So we have got two data in our MySQL database. So first I will create a route to display this data in our React frontend. So first I will create a get route here. Then we will start working on the frontend to display this two data in our table component on React side. So let's first create the API for this one. So we need to go back to the Visual Studio Code, and let's do a uncomment for now. Okay, so we need to create that API to get all the data from our database so that we can display in our front end in the table component. So API get, and you can use here like callback, request, response. Then we are going to have SQL query, so SQL get, and we have to write that query. So select star. So star means you will get all the data from MySQL database. So that's why I'm using star here, and this will be like table. So table name is like contact DB. Okay, and then we have to execute this query. So db.query SQL get error. So we will log error and result in all API if we face any error. Okay, so it will be easy to track down the issue. So response dot send result. Okay, and we can also test this API in the browser. So let's go into the browser whether this API is working or not. So the API name we have like get, sorry, API get. Okay, so you can see that we have got the data which we have in our MySQL workbench with the name John and John Doe. So you can see that here we have John and John Doe. So this API is working. So let's set up our React now. So I am on this directory where my server folder is there. So here only I am going to set up our React. Okay, so I will open one CMD here and I will create the application. So npx create React app, and the application name I will give here like client only. So it will take around 5 minutes to install all the necessary dependency. So once all the dependency get installed, I'll be back. So guys, our React project got set up and all the dependency got installed. So before we do npm start, let's go into that folder, that is client, and we need to install some packages in our UI. So we need to install React router DOM. Then we need to install Axios in order to make the API request with our backend. And then we need to install React Toastify to show the toast notification. So React Toastify, and I'll be back once all the package get installed. So guys, our all three package now got installed. So let's go into the Visual Studio Code first. So you can see that we have got this client folder here, and first I will remove this unwanted content. We don't need this one, and simply I will just give here hello React. Okay, and I will also do a configuration of React Toastify. So I am in the official npm package of this React Toastify, and we need to copy a couple of things. So let's copy this to import statement. Go back to Visual Studio Code and let's paste it here. We don't need logo, and we don't need here toast, and here we need to bring that toast container. And also I wanted to specify the position of notification. So position could be like top center here, and let's do an npm start here. So npm start, and let's wait for the application load into the browser. So guys, our React application is running fine in the browser. So now it's time to configure router in our application. So let's go into the Visual Studio Code and configure the router in our application. So we need to bring browser router route switch from our React router DOM. So let's bring those things, switch, and route. Okay, and let's wrap this one with browser router, and let's cut this entire content here, and let's remove this heading, and let's create here one folder, pages, and here we are going to have home.js, and let's also create the css file for this page. So home.css, let's generate the snippet here, and let's give here home title, and let's bring this component in our app.js file so that we can register the route. So I'm going to use switch and route to, so this will be the home route, and we can specify here exact, and we can give here like component, and let's bring the home component. So VS Code automatically import that component here, you can see that, and this will be the path now to. Okay, and let's go into the browser. So we got this home title here in our browser. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code, and we need to start working on our home.js file, because we have this two data in MySQL database. So we need to display this two data in our table component, and the route is already written, which is displaying all the data which we have in our MySQL database. So let's work on the table component here in our home.js file. So from React we need to bring hooks like use state, use effect, and we need to bring link from our React router DOM, and let's bring that CSS file as well, home.css, and let's bring the toast, because we're gonna need this one when we implement the delete operation. So let's bring now only from React Toastify, and we also need access here so that we can make a request with our backend. So we have everything now in our home.js file. Now we need to define one data. So basically it will hold all the data from our MySQL database. So let's define this one with use state, and it will be empty array, and let's define one function which will basically fetch all the data from our MySQL database using the API. Since we are dealing with the API, so we need to make this as a async await, and here we will get our response await access dot get, and http localhost 5000 API dot get. So this is the API that we have in our backend, and let's just set the data. So response dot data, and we have to use this load data inside the use effect. So on initial load it will fetch all the data that we have in our backend. So async await we cannot use inside the use effect, that's why I have created a separate function here. So it will fetch all the data on the initial application load. So next thing we have to work on our return section. So it will having the style, margin top 150 pixel. So some of the styling I will apply in the inline only, and the rest of the styling will go into the home.css file. And after that I'm gonna having a table with the class name styled table, and then I'm going to use t-head, then table row, and then we are going to have a column name as a t-head. So t-head, so it will be number, and style I'm going to give here text align center, and I'm going to copy couple of times because we have other field as well like name, email and contact. So name, email and contact, and after that we need one more column, that is action, in which we will having edit, delete, view button. So let's define the t body, that is a table body, and inside that we have the data. Let's map it, item and index. Let's do a return here, and we are going to have a table row. Okay, inside this table row we are going to having a key. So key should be the unique, so it will be like item dot id. After that this will be th, the number, and I'm going to use index +1 because I wanted to start the numbering from 1, and in array the index is start with 0, so that's why I have written this way, index +1. And then we have to specify scope here, and this will be the row. Then we have to specify td, so it will be having like item dot name. Let's copy this one 2 times. So this will be the email, contact, and let's have one more td, so in which we will having all the button. So let's specify this one with the link, because the first button will be the edit, so it will basically going towards the update page. So button with the class name btn edit. Okay, and we have to specify one more time btn. Okay, and this will be the edit, and it will be navigating towards the update page. So in this application I am going to use only the one file in which we will be performing both operation, like adding the new contact or updating the existing contact. So same page I will be using for adding the new contact or updating the existing contact. So update, and this will be like item dot id. So now we will having a button for deleting the contact, so let's specify that button as well. So button with the class name btn delete. Okay, and let's give the value delete, and then we will having a view button. So I'll just copy this one and just paste it here, and it will navigate towards the view page, and this will be the button value will be the view, and let's change the class name as well, and let's do a format this one, and let's bring the css code for this home.css file. So I will grab the css code for this file. So I have just pasted the css code here, and guys, you can copy all the css code by pausing this video. So let's scroll this one so that you can copy all this CSS code. So guys, I hope now you have copied all the CSS code by pausing this video. So let's go into the browser and see whether this styling got applied or not on our table component. So you can see that we have got this table and we have got this data. This is the same data that we have in our MySQL database. So you can see that we have a John and John Doe. Okay, so we are successfully able to display the MySQL database in our table component. So the next thing, we are going to perform the add operation so that the user can add the contact. So first we will be working on our API. So let's go into the Visual Studio Code and we need to go here index.js file. So let's define that API here. So app.post, and here we have to specify the API. So API, and we can give here like post and request response, and we have to get all the data like name, email, contact from our request body that we are going to pass from our front end, and we can receive those value in the request body, that is name, email and contact. So this name, email value we are going to pass through our front end while making the API request. So from request body we are destructuring the name, email and contact. Here first we need to define that SQL query. So SQL insert, then we can just copy this one entire thing and we can paste it here, but this time we don't have to do like this way. We have to just put question mark. Okay, so everything is correct now. Contact DB, we have the table name, email, contact and values, and then we have to execute the SQL query. So we can use DB query SQL insert, and then we have to pass the array. So we have to basically pass this data in the form of the array. So the orders should be the same here because we have here name, email and contact. So in that order we have to pass in the array. So name, email and contact. Then we are going to having a callback in which we will have error or result. So we can just log this one if we have error. So if you have error, then do a console.log. Okay, and so we have defined this route. Now in order to test this API we need to work on our front end. So in the pages folder we have to create one file, add edit. So add edit because add contact or updating a existing contact, both operation we are going to perform in the same page. So that's why it's having the add edit. So let's generate the snippet for now, and from home.js we have to specify that button so that user can navigate towards the add contact page. So after this we are going to have one button with the class name btn contact, and the button value will be like add contact, and let's wrap this button into the link because we have to navigate towards the add contact. Okay, and let's cut this one and paste it here, and let's give for now heading add edit, and let's register the route. So let's just copy this one, remove the exact and give the route like add contact and component add edit. So VS Code automatically import that component. So let's go into the browser. So we have got this add contact button, and let's click on this add contact. So we are successfully able to navigate toward the add edit page. So let's go back to the Visual Studio Code, and let's create the add edit.css file as well. So add edit.css. Now we have to work on our add edit file. So we need to bring hooks from React. So use state, use effect, and let's bring use history, use param, and link from React router now. So that is required later when we performing the updating existing contact. So for now, let's bring this one, use params and the link, and let's import that CSS file as well. So add edit.css. We need to import Axios as well to making the API request, and let's bring the toast as well. So we got this toast as well. First we will work on our form component. So let's remove this title and let's give this styling. So margin top, I'm going to give 100 pixel, and let's give form here, form with the styling inline style, and this will having a margin auto. Then we are going to have padding 15 pixel, then max width, so it won't having a double quotes, so let's give max width 400 pixel. Then align content center, and we will having a on submit, so let's define the method handle submit, and let's define here label. So first label we are going to have name, we can give here HTML4, and let's define the input field. So type will be the text for this input field, ID gonna be name, then name will be the name. Let's remove this comma. Then we are going to having a placeholder, so your name you can give something like as a placeholder, then value name, and on change, so on change we are going to having a handle input change. Okay, so we have defined this input field, first input field. So I'm just going to copy this one and I will paste couple of times. So the second input field we have like email, so it will be email, and label will be the email, type will be email, ID will be the email, name will be the email, this will be your email, this will be the email, and this will be as it is handle input change. In the last field we have contact, and the other field, and the last field we have a contact. Let's give contact here, type will be the number, and ID will be the contact, so I will just paste here. Name will be the contact, this will be the contact, and this will be like your contact number. Okay, and let's define the initial state of this form. So we can define this outside initial state. So this will having a name, email, contact, then define the state here. So state, and we can use here use state, and we can pass this initial state, and then we can destructure name and email contact from the state, so that we don't have to write like state.name, state.email or state.contact. And after that we have to also define this handle submit and handle input change, otherwise we will get error. So handle input, it will receive an event, and we can specify here synthetic event like e.prevent default to prevent the default behavior of browser. And let's define the handle input change as well. Handle input change, this will be also receive an event. In handle input change, what we can do, so we have to write a logic so that user can type the value into each input field. So from e.target we can destructure name and value. Okay, and then we can set the state. We can spread out like state, then name and value. Okay, we have defined both handle submit and handle input change. And the next thing we have to do, like we have to copy the CSS code for this addEdit.css file. So I'm going to grab the CSS code for this file. So guys, I have just pasted the CSS code for this addEdit.css file. So you can copy all this CSS code by pausing this video. So I hope you have copied all the CSS code for this file. And we have to also define the button. So let's define the button after this input field. So input, so type gonna be submit here, and value we can give here save. Okay, and we are going to have one more button, that will be the go back button. So link to, so it will basically navigate toward the home page, and this button we will have only button only. So we can specify the type button, and value we can give here like go back. Okay, so let's go into the browser and see whether the styling got applied for our form component or not. So we have implemented this form. Now let's add the feature to add the contact into our MySQL database through API which we have created in our backend. So let's go into the Visual Studio Code, and in handle submit basically we have to write all those logic. So first we have to check here if any input field is empty. So I wanted to display the error message like please provide the value into each input field. So something like that notification basically I wanted to give to the user. And so if any input field is empty, so I'm checking all field, then toast.error, and we can give a message like please provide value into each input field. Okay, and if we have all the value, then I wanted to basically add that contact in our MySQL database. So here we can do like axios dot post, and we have the API. So this is the API we have here. So API post, so we are going to use that one only. So from home.js I'm just going to copy this one because it's almost similar, only this thing is changed. So we have to change this to post, and we have to pass the body. So we can specify like name, email and contact. Okay, then we have to resolve this one. So then what we can do here, like, means user is successfully able to add the contact into MySQL database. Then I wanted to clear the each input field. So let's do that. So email field will be empty, name field will be the empty, and contact will be the contact field will be the empty. And if you have any error, then we can simply just do a console log. Okay, or instead of doing console log, you can also just use like toast.error. And if you wanted to display the error message, so you have to do like this: error.response.data. okay, so this way basically you can able to read the error message from the API. And after that basically we have to navigate towards the home page once you add the contact. So set timeout. So I'll be basically making little bit delay. So timeout I'm just giving here 500 millisecond, and we can give here like history.push. So I think we have bring the use history, but we haven't stored the reference of use history into history variable. So let store the reference of use history into a history variable so that we can able to navigate towards the home page. So in set timeout we can use history dot push. Okay, and since we have one line, so we can remove this one, we don't need. Okay, so let's go into the browser and see whether we are able to add the contact in our MySQL database or not. So let's refresh this one, and first let's try to add the contact without having any data into input field. So we have got this toast notification that please provide value into each input field. So now let's add the contact. So the contact will be goes like James Bond @gmail.com. Let's give some random contact and let's click on this. So now you can see that James Bond is added successfully in our table component. And if you go back to the MySQL workbench, you have to basically execute this one in order to see the updated data. So now you can see that we have got this James Bond, okay, with name, email and contact. And we have missed one more thing here. So what we have missed here, like, so we have to basically add one toast notification. So what we can do here, so we have to basically add that toast notification. So we can do here like toast dot success, and we can give the message like contact added successfully. Okay, so let's go into the browser and see whether we are able to see this toast notification or not. So let's add one more contact. So this time I am giving contact like Rahul @gmail.com, some contact, and let's click on save. So now you can see that this contact got successfully added in our table component, and we have got this toast notification that's saying that contact added successfully. So now we are done with the add operation. The next operation we are going to perform the delete operation. So first we need to work on our backend. So basically we have to create the API in order to delete the data. So we will be deleting the data based on the ID. So let's first create the API in our back, then we will work on our front end. So let's go to the index.js file and let's just copy this one, and we can specify here remove the ID. Okay, and this ID we can receive in the request.params, and this will be the ID only, and this will be SQL remove. Okay, and the query will be the completely different for deleting from the SQL database. So delete from contact DB. Okay, and we can specify here where ID equal to this. Since we have only ID, so we can pass this way. Okay, so there is no requirement of array if we have the single argument. Okay, now we have to put this SQL remove here, and we can check if we have any error, then we can just do a console log, and this will be the delete. Okay, so make sure to change this one, and let's go into the front end now. So we have to go to the home.js file. So here we have a delete button where we have to create one on click method. So on click we are going to have one method called delete contact. Okay, and we can pass in the contact ID. Okay, so let's specify this method outside this return. So const delete contact, it will receive a ID. Okay, and we can check here, like, so we can basically show a window pop-up confirm message to the user, like, are you sure you wanted to delete that contact? So we can show something message like this to the user. So are you sure that you wanted to delete that contact? So are you sure that you wanted to delete that contact? So if it clicks OK, then it will go inside this if condition, and now basically we can make the request. So xs dot delete, not default, delete. So let's just paste this one. So it will be in the template literal because we have to specify the ID. So this will be the remove. First change the API, then we have to specify the ID, and after that we are going to show the success message like contact deleted successfully. So contact deleted successfully, and then we have to basically load the data. So we wanted to load the updated data, so we can use your set timeout. So this function, so this load data will get execute after 5 seconds. So this is necessary because once you delete, then you wanted to show the updated contact detail. So let's go into the browser and we can verify whether this one is working or not. So let's delete the first record. So I'm just going to click on delete. Okay, so we have got this pop-up confirm message, and if you click OK, the record will get deleted from the table comp, and we have got this toast notification message that's saying that contact deleted successfully. Okay, so now it's time to perform the update operation. So in order to update the existing contact, we have to first populate all the value on our form component. So if you click on edit button, so you will navigate towards the update page. So this route is not registered, I guess, so that's why we are not getting anything. So first register this route. So let's go to the app.js file and we can register the route with the update. Okay, and we can specify the ID, and this is the same page we are going to use for the update as well. So let's go into the browser. So now let's click on the edit button, and now we have to create here two routes. So first route basically will return the contact detail for that particular contact based on the ID. Then we have to create another route which will update the existing contact. So we have to basically create the two route in order to update the existing contact. So let's work on our backend first. So let's go to the index.js file. So in index.js file, let's just copy this one. Okay, and let's paste it here, and here we can specify the ID, and we can get the ID from the request params, and we have the ID here, and the SQL query is also going to change here a little bit. So select from contact DB. So basically we wanted everything from our database for this ID, so we can specify here. So basically we wanted every detail for that contact once the ID is matched. So we can write here like where ID is equal to question mark, and since we have only one argument, so we can pass like this one ID. Okay, and we can send the result, and we can also check here if we have any error, then we can do a console log. Okay, and let's also create the update API as well. So let's just copy this one and let's paste here. So this will be the put only, and this will be the put, and we are going to update the existing contact based on the ID only. So from request params we will get the ID, and we also need the name, email, contact from the request.body. So let's get from there. So we can destructure here name, email, and contact, and let's change this one, so it will be SQL update. So for updating the existing contact in MySQL, so the query will be the completely different. So it will be like update table name, so contact DB, then we can use set name is equal to question mark, email is equal to question mark, then contact is equal to question mark, and we have to also specify where ID equal to this. Okay, and let's make this capital as well. Okay, and here we have to pass in the sequence. Okay, so that will be the like name, email, contact, and ID. So make sure this all should be the in the sequence only, otherwise you will not able to update the database. So I think we are done here. So let's work on our front end. So in addEdit.js, first we need to grab the ID using the use params. So use params. Okay, and we will get the ID, and here we have to basically run one use effect. So this use effect will only run when we have the ID. So when we have the ID, that means user is basically updating the existing contact. So we can make this API request that we have created to get the single contact detail based on the ID. So inside use effect we can use like access.get, and we can specify ID in the template literal. So we can specify ID in the template literal only. So we can just copy this URL which we have in our under the delete contact method. Okay, so this will be the get only. Okay, and then we will get the response. Set state, and here guys you will get the response in the form of the array of object. So this array of object will contain only one data, so we can target the data like this way, because it will fetch only the single contact based on the ID. So this data will basically return in the form of the array of object. So we have to target the first index. Okay, and we have to also adjust our each input field. So basically in order to populate the data we have to modify this way, so that way only it will populate into each respective input field. So first we can check this one whether it's working or not. So let's go into the browser. So you can see that it is working now. So we have got this johndoe@gmail.com and contact for the ID 2, and let's navigate from here as well, and let's click on this Rahul, third one. So we have got this Rahul name and email rahul@gmail.com and the contact, and we have to also change the value of button, so it will be the update in case of updating the existing contact. So let's do all this thing. So let's first change the value of button. So in case of ID, that means user is updating the existing contact, so in that case we can have the value of button update, else it will be the same, means user is adding the new contact. And based on that ID we can also determine whether user is updating the existing contact or adding the new contact. So we can do those things here as well in the else condition. So if you don't have any ID, that means user is adding the new contact, and we can write all this logic here. So just cut it and paste it here, and in else part we can just copy this one and paste it. So if we have the ID, then it will come inside this else condition, and this will be the update. And we have to use template literal because we have to specify the ID. So ID will go here, provide the body, name, email, contact, and after that we wanted to empty the each input field, and this will be the put. Okay, not post, and the message will be like contact updated successfully. Okay, and let's verify whether we have the same API or not in our backend. So here we have update and here we have put. So let's make it update here, and also we have to pass this SQL update here, not SQL get. Okay, so let's save this file and let's go into the browser. Let's refresh this one and let's update the third record. So let's give here like Rahul Kumar, and this one. Okay, and let's click on update. So now we are successfully able to update the existing contact. You can see in the table you can see in the table component that record is successfully got updated, and we have got this toast notification that's saying that contact updated successfully. Now we have to work on our view page. So let's just start working on this view page. So first create file in the page folder. So view.js and view.css. Okay, let's generate snippet and let's give some heading like view, and let's register this route. So I'm just going to copy this one. So in case of view also we need to specify the ID, and let's bring that view component. So VS Code automatically import that component, and let's go into the browser whether it's working or not. So let's click on this view. So it is working successfully, able to navigate towards the view page. So let's work on this view page. So in view.js we need to bring use state. Okay, use effect, and we have to also bring use param and link from React Router DOM. So let's bring those things. Use param and link. Okay, so we have bring this use param and link from React Router DOM. We have to also bring the XCS. So XCS we have bring, and let's bring the CSS file for this page. So view.css, so we have to bring like this way, and let's define one state here. So user, set user, and use state, so it will be empty object, and we have to grab the ID with the help of use params. Okay, and we have to write one use effect. So this is the same use effect that it is required here in case of view, because this use effect will only run when we have the ID. So let's just paste here, and we have to specify here set user. Okay, so only this modification required here, and let's work on the component part. So let's work on the component part. So I'm going to provide some inline styling here. So margin top 150 pixel. Let's remove this one, and we are going to have a card with the class name card. We are going to have another class name with the card header. Then we can define here like user contact detail, and then we are going to have another class name with the container. Okay, and here we are going to having a strong tag ID, and it will be in span only, so we can specify ID. Then we will having a to break, then I'm going to just copy this one couple of times because we have to display the name, email, and contact. Okay, so this will be the name, and this will be like user.name, email, user.email, and this will be the contact. So user.contact, and now we will have one button, basically navigate towards the home page. So we are going to have one go back button with the class name btn edit. Okay, and the value of button will be the go back, and link we can specify home route only, so that it will navigate towards the home page. So here we have one issue. Okay, and now we have to bring the CSS code for this view.css file. So I'm going to grab the CSS code for this file. So I have pasted the CSS code for this file. So you can pause this video and copy all the CSS code. So I hope you have copied all the CSS code. So let's go into the browser. So now you can see that we have got this nice card component, and we have all the detail of that contact with ID, name, email, and contact. And let's see this one as well, the second contact. So let's click on view. So we have got this James Bond email, jamesbond@gmail.com, contact and ID. So we have got every detail in this card component. So guys, we have successfully built this full stack CRUD application with the help of React, Node, Express and MySQL. So I hope you have enjoyed building this application with me. If you think this video is helpful, then please press the like button and subscribe the channel. So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Bye bye.